Ladies and gentlemen, these are the comics that I ordered in August of 2024. The last haul of the summer. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this one. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this is going to be the last haul that I do this summer because I'm moving into college. So let's see what we got right here real fast. This is the big one first. I'm saving only one book in this one. I'm saving that one for last. But I'm very excited. Today, I have all superhero books, and some of these are amazing. They prove to me truly that some of the greatest writers in the entire world are working in comics right now, and a lot of people overlook that. I think the fact that so many people do overlook the potential of this medium is what makes it so special. But let's get into it here, because this is the one I'm really excited about. So I'm starting off with this one. You know what I'm saying? Let's get that out of the way. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. So first and foremost, we have Nightwing Year 1. Can you all see this properly? I hope so. And now, this is actually probably the least wanted for me out of all of the deluxe editions of the Year 1 stuff. I have the absolute edition of Batman Year 1. I love that story. But I think that the Robin Year 1 and the Batgirl are the better compared to Nightwing. However, Nightwing is still great. I'm happy to have this in deluxe format, and that means I will get the other ones in that deluxe format as well. Let me show you guys this. We got this awesome Dan Mora cover. It's not the only Dan Mora book in this haul, so stay tuned for that. Got this sort of shiny reflective cover right here. Here's what the spine looks like. Let's look under the dust jacket here real fast. Got this image of Nightwing himself. But this is a really great story about Nightwing kind of deciding where he fits into the world, as all great Nightwing stories are. Now here's what the dust jacket looks like. We got this really classy picture of Nightwing himself. And the artwork that can be found in here, very good, very proficient. It goes through a lot of the character. If you want to understand who Nightwing is as a character, absolutely I recommend this book specifically. And same for any of those Year 1 books. You will understand exactly who these characters are if you just take a look at their Year 1 books, which to me is what makes this one so great. Alright. Next up is a book that I've been wanting for a very long time. Yes! And it is Daredevil by Brian Michael Bendis, the Omnibus Volume 1. Now this is maybe, it's up there with my top comics runs of all time. Not just superhero, not just Marvel or DC. This is a great story. And I think it is criminally underrated, even though it's very famous. There's so many people who have no idea about this. I think if you want to give this to just anyone on the street, they'll understand exactly what makes Daredevil so great. And this is my favorite work that Brian Michael Bendis has ever done, and he's done some amazing stuff. He's done Ultimate Spider-Man. He's done so many great projects. But this right here is something special. And let's look under the dust jacket real fast. We got this great looking image right here. Hold on, let me get this out so you guys can see it. We got, let's break this open. We got Daredevil and Spider-Man on the cover right here, looking really good. And what makes this book so amazing? I think it's the tone. I think it's the tone for sure. Because obviously the artwork is great. Everything about this book is great. You can just understand that this is a writer who is trying to do something very, very unique, very, very special. And trust him to do that. And he's starting a saga here that really does something that I've never really seen in comics, which is show the slow unraveling of a superhero in a realistic setting. Like, this is what would happen to a superhero if he was in our world. And other stories have claimed to have done that in the past and not really done that for me. But this book right here, it's an absolute favorite of mine. There's some great raw moments that feel like you're watching a movie. And it's just so good, man. Please read this book. I think this might be my top recommendation out of all the books so far. And I'm just so glad to finally have this omnibus reprint under my belt and in my library. And you guys know that I'm going to be reviewing the second half of this when that comes out. I think it's early 2025. But yeah, here's the spine in case I missed that. Great one. But this book is it's just so good. It's just so good. This is what made me not only a Daredevil fan for life, but that really transcended the genre to me, to where I put it up there with classics like Sandman, my top favorite comics of all time, because it's just that good. And some of the moments in here that Matt Murdock goes through, they're incredible, but they're also very harrowing, and they feel very real. They make the character feel hardened, sharper somehow, and they make you see what his flaws are in a setting that I never thought we would see. Because Daredevil's story, going back for a while, since the Frank Miller days, has always been about a man who's just hardened by the world around him, that wants to break him for what he tries to do, which is just follow laws, be a good person, make sure that the world around him is good. So it does end up being something special when you take that idea, that character, to its logical extreme, which is what happens in this run, in this story, and you get some of the greatest moments in comics from it. Coming up next is another one that I absolutely love. The Amazing Spider-Man by J. Michael. Oh my God, I almost fell out of my chair there, man. The Amazing Spider-Man by JMS Omnibus Volume 2. Now, this is a fucking big book right here, and that cover is just so sick. This covers the second half of JMS's run, which is one of my favorite Spider-Man runs of all time. It's probably... I like this one more than Superior Spider-Man. I like this run more than... maybe more than Stan Lee's original stuff. Which is hard for me to say because I love that shit. This is maybe even better than the Jerry Conway stuff with Tombstone and everything like that I love so much. That kind of defined my childhood. This stuff right here is absolutely amazing. Yeah, it does end on probably the worst Spider-Man story ever told, but at the end of the day, I think that's okay. I think that's alright. Because the story and the highs that JMS reaches, the very human storytelling that you can find in this book, it's really incredible. Yeah, sure, there are some misses here. Not every story is amazing. However, the grand majority of the stuff, even this volume 2, because I think the volume 1 of this, I don't have it and I want it very badly because it is beautiful. But we got Civil War going on through this. We have so many amazing moments to the point where you can just tell that each character in this book is written in a way where they care so much about one another. They have so much heart to them, so that when things are taken again to the logical extreme, like in Daredevil, and they're pushed to their edges, something really insane happens. And they snap. They go crazy. But this book maintains the heart, it maintains the values, and what I love most about this is around where probably, if I had to say, Spider-Man would end. Because the Peter Parker who's in here has all the maturity of someone who actually is his age, that's 30 or 40 years old, and they've lived a whole life of experiences, and they've learned, and they're still learning. And that's what makes it something special, because you can see all the influences that have got him to the point that he is currently in. We have the Dust Jacket, which is the One More Day cover, which it's a beautiful cover. Not a beautiful story. Fuck that story. Fuck Joe Quesada. But we don't have to talk about that. Talk about this. We can. You can just stop before that last story in this omnibus and have a great time. You know. But this is the spine. He's got a little Spider-Man ready to whip a web right there. But yeah, absolutely. I got this. I can't wait for when they reprint JMS Volume 1. It's got to be one of my most wanted Marvel Omnibus by now, for reprint specifically, because I love the stories in there even more than I love the stories in here. And this book right here is great. It's amazing. But yeah, I do want that reprint, because I'm not trying to pay. When I got into omnibus collecting, you could buy that book for a little bit less in cover price. I wanted more of a discount. Yeah, I'll wait for it to come back in stock. It went out of print instead. So next time, right? Next time I'll get it. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be more complete in my Spider-Man collection. Now, for the last one from this box, we have Once and Future, the Slipcase Edition Volume 2. Because Once and Future Volume 1, I don't know if you guys can see that right there, but it is right behind me. And it looks great. But let me crack this open for you guys real fast. All right, I love these slipcase editions that Boom Studios does. I said it before because I've gotten 2 of them this summer. I've gotten Something is Killing the Children Volume 2 and Grimm Volume 1. Both incredible stories by Stephanie Phillips and James Tynion. I love those books. And I love Once and Future too. At least I actually haven't read this one, so I can't speak on it too much, except for the fact that if you like mythology, if you like stories interweaving with other famous stories that you know, this is a great book for you, because that's what it is. Obviously, it's about Arthurian legend. King Arthur in here. Twist is that he's actually the bad guy, and him coming back is going to spell doomsday for everyone in this world. But you have myths coming to life and attacking people. Like, you have Grendel in here. You have so much going on here. And I'm really excited to see how this all ends, because this is a crazy book. It's got some of the best artwork for a creator-owned story ever, because it's got Dan Mora. You know, we had the Nightwing DM cover earlier that he drew for that book. And this, he does the art, interior art, all throughout. We got this beautiful picture of the Queen with her crown on both sides right there. We have the gold foil slipcase right there. We have the actual spine of the actual book, which I'm going to take out right now for you guys. All right, let me get this box out of the way here. We got a slipcase right here. But the actual book is pretty beautiful. We got this layered, textured sort of dragons with swords and guns. On the back we have a skull surrounded by guns, and it's absolutely sick right here. And we got this skeleton knight of King Arthur on the cover here. But let me show you guys some of the art that you can find in here. Let me see. Here we have Robin Hood, for example, which I guess will make an appearance in this book. But yeah, these editions that Boom puts out are always great. I always love them. But yeah, just the artwork in here is absolutely astounding. It's Dan Mora doing some of his best work, coloring his own artwork, and just some of the designs in here are so sick. And the covers even are amazing, if you can see that right there. Let me try and do this real fast. Let me just go through. You might not see my face right now, I don't know. We're going to go through the covers, because some of these covers are really amazing. And they showcase some of the magic about this series, which is the sheer spectacle of it, you know? Look, like, he looks fucking raw as hell. But yeah, this is just a really spectacular book. It's spectacular looking. It's great storytelling from Kieran Gillen, who I'm hit or miss on. I really like Journey into Mystery, the Loki series that they did, but I don't know about some of the other series. Like, I wasn't a big fan of Die, which had great artwork Interesting premise. I'm just not that into D&D. And what else did they do? They did... what was that one book about like the celebrities and the cults that were gods? Because I liked the premise of that, and I liked that book for a while, but it got meandering for me. Let me think for a moment. That book was called The Wicked and the Divine. That's what that book was called. That was a really strong book for a while, and I kind of dropped off, and I think it didn't really find its footing. Unfortunately, because I do love that series, or I did for a while. But yeah, that's the only real miss I had other than Die. It's just that sometimes Kieran Gillen likes to get really into, you know, the book's intricacies. And sometimes I'm just like, all right, I want more character drama than going into all the details about how, you know, this magic system would work with bringing these people to life and how, you know, the RPG elements work. Like, they get really into that, which is cool. That's just not for me. That's just not for me. We got one more book coming right up, ladies and gentlemen. We got one more book. Last book of the summer. Okay. Oh my God, that's embarrassing. This box just embarrassed me, right? Man, what's going on with that? But yeah, we got this box. Let me get around for you guys real fast. Because this box, they was doing a lot to this, man. What the fuck? I'm excited for this one, though, because this is going to be a first for the channel in terms of the haul openings. Because this, oh my God, they're protecting this. There's only one book in this entire box, bro. You know what they did to it? They absolutely covered it. As they should. This is like a top secret government document right here. Because why is this a first for the channel? Well, it's an absolute edition, ladies and gentlemen. Specifically, All-Star Superman. Take a look at this, you guys. Isn't that beautiful? This is the last Superman book I need to actually complete my Superman collection. So I'm very happy with that. I love this book. This book means a lot to me. It's Superman just learning that he's going to die and doing everything he can to prepare Earth for that. The world that he's been saving for so long. And that means so much to him. That means so much to so many people out there. He's trying to give everyone he cares about, which is the whole world, as many gifts and preparation for the future, for dark times ahead. Even his villains, he's trying to prepare all of them for what's to come in life before he finally goes up into the sky and doesn't come back. So this book is very sad. It's got some of Superman's quintessential... Oh my God, just cut it, Riley. What are you doing? It's got some of Superman's quintessential moments to me. And I didn't love the artwork the first time I read this. This is a book that took me 2 times to really love. I always loved the individual moments in here, but until I actually sat back and gave it a reread, along with some other Superman books, I was like, okay, yeah, it's the point of Superman. Everything that Superman is supposed to be, you can find this book. It's a love letter. It's a love letter in that way. But yeah, right here we have Superman looking down very fondly at the Earth. But let's take it out of the slipcase and reveal what's underneath. So we got Superman right here coming down from the sun, where he's eventually going to disappear to. And we have one of the gifts that Superman gives to perhaps the person that he cares most about in the world, which is Lois Lane, giving her the able to feel what it's like to be him for just a day. And that means so much to her. Now, under the dust jacket, what do we have? We got this very famous image of Superman in the sky on this side right here, which has so much peace. He looks so happy right there. He's just smiling like nothing happened. And this is the exact costume that Superman is going to be wearing in the new Superman movie, which I am told is going to be based off of this. But yeah, just absolutely beautiful artwork. character profiles kind of took me a bit with Frank Quitely's artwork, but I really did love a lot of it. We have some moments in here that stick with you just due to how beautiful they are and how effortlessly they grab a hold of you and grab you in such a way that you're like, this moment is so simple right now, but it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And we have all sorts of extras. Frank Quitely's Superman is always super interesting to me because you can see Clark Kent right here. It's hunched over, you know. You wouldn't see him as like a super strong, muscular guy. He's just big. And this guy, that's a muscular guy right there because he's standing up straight. He's a Superman. This guy's just Clark Kent, you know. Just Clark Kent. Just Clark Kent. So that was always interesting to me how he did that. As far as more extras, there's everything here. They go through every corner of the book and offer commentary on it. And yeah, it's just a beautiful presentation, as these absolute editions oftentimes are. I'm so glad I got this reprint. But yeah, we have this beautiful rendering of Superman on the back in that pixelated sort of comic book retro art style, which is so cool. And I'm so glad I finally got this. I'm gonna put the dust jacket back on here. But we have a quote right here from this book. The measure of a man lies not in what he says, but what he does. Very simple quote that kind of, I think it's the core of what this story is trying to say. It's not saying that there's anything complex about being a good person. It's actually kind of embarrassingly simple to someone like Lex Luthor, you know? There's bad people in the world that see someone doing good and think it's not possible and try to drag them down to earth to where they are. No, sometimes it's not. Sometimes you can just be a good person and try to lead others to be as good a person as they perceive you to be. But yeah, that's about it for this video, guys. I'm going to be reorganizing my shelves now. And I purchased a lot of books this summer. As you guys can see here, let me flip the spines around. But yeah, we got a lot of books even just in this haul. And there's still more coming up. But this collection right here, right behind me, I'm very proud of it. I'm proud that I've been able to keep doing these videos. I might live stream in the future. We'll see. I did one last time and I restricted it for the last month's haul. If you guys want to see that, you can let me know and I'll put it back up. But I wasn't very happy with how that ended up going. I think I can do a lot better in terms of keeping something interesting. But I just need to have viewers or someone to bounce off of. But yeah, I'm very happy with this haul. This gave me a lot of joy right now just to sit back and talk about these stories that I love so much. Because I haven't read Once and Future yet. I'm sure I'll love that too. The other 3 stories here. Oh, and there's Nightwing, of course. No, Nightwing's good. Year One's good. I want that for my Batman collection because I want to build that up. But Superman for All Seasons, Spider-Man by J. Michael Straczynski, even the worst parts, and Daredevil by Bendis are 3 stories that mean so much to me, and I think everyone should read them. I really do. But thank you guys. See you next time.